that foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show.
Estás escuchando ADR Networks.
ADR Networks presenta.
This is Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch.
And this is...
Foreign Show!
On that foreign show.
All right, Yes,
We
y'all.
are back.
We are back.
I'm
It's
Celestine
Friday.
Angel,
I'm Isaac Rakesh.
and we're here on ADR Networks, activating your
Your
senses.
senses.
So today, for that insider, we are going to talk about the restaurant that our one of our guests, Uli, she was here, an Indonesian guest. She had a catering service, and now she has a restaurant. So we want to share her restaurant with you guys. It's
Yes.
Indonesian food. I think the only one in Mexico City. So everybody should know this. Like if you are an Indonesian food lover or Malay food lover, like you can even contact her in advance. She can prepare for you ikan penyet, which is fried fish.
Fried fish that's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
flattened.
so good. Yeah.
Right? It's flattened fried fish.
Oh,
It's-
penyet means flatten, is it?
Yeah. And
Okay.
then ayam penyet also, which is the same thing. It's like you get a piece of chicken and it's flattened.
Yeah.
And
Like so, ayam penyet is like the key Indonesian food that most people will go for. Like if
Yep.
like if somebody's craving Indonesian food, they are going to be like wanting ayam penyet. Ayam is chicken. Thank you, Arthur.
There we go.
So that is the new restaurant. It's called Inak.
Inak.
Right. Look at the food. It's so good. It's Southeast
Oh.
Asian, straight up Southeast Asian. Like
Yes. We have tried the food and it's amazing. Right? She's got a whole variety of different things. And the food comes with all of the side dishes as well, right? All of the authentic stuff, all your tofu and all your other
yeah, and
stuff. over there.
tempeh, which is like tempeh is tofu, sorry,
Ooh.
and it's like fried. Yeah,
Yes,
so
thank you,
they are
Arthur.
brand new. Support them. The food is really good. I'm telling you, this is an insider thing, definitely. It's,
Yes.
you go there. It's a family-owned business right now. She hasn't. She told me she hasn't hired any staff, so it's just her and her daughter.
Mm.
Yeah, and like this is really, really. I mean, you're going to get the taste of Indonesia. If you've never tried Indonesian food, try it. Go down and
If you don't know,
try
you
it.
won't know. So trust us.
And
Try it.
the pricing is about 180, 200 per dish, but it's like a lot. So
Yeah.
you're gonna feel like it's really worth it, and it is okay. The taste is good. You're
Very
going
worth
to
it.
get like a feel of Southeast Asia, and so yeah, we're sharing this with you.
And it's a part of an Indonesian kind of food, like that nasi padang, right? They call it like basically it's like when you go to.
Oh yeah, we should mention that. So
Yeah.
nasi padang is so basically it's like you order rice and then there's all the dishes there and there's nasi padang
Yeah. You get
and
like
you get to choose
Yes.
what dish you want, how many. So like what you see maybe in like the Chinese stalls here where you pick one guisado, two guisados, that kind of thing. You have that also in you have that in that restaurant.
the restaurant. the
So like
Indonesian
it
flavor.
is quite a standard thing in our part of the world where you order like either noodle or rice and then all the food is there for you to pick. And I mean obviously in Asia is way cheaper, but like yeah, we are so far away, so the ingredients are really hard to get. And like here in like the Chinese restaurant, what you see with the food in front of you, like in Asia, we just like buy a bunch of like the dishes and we just go back and eat it actually because it's
Yeah.
actually so cheap. Like
We
yeah,
actually recreate the spread at home. So we get like rice, and then
sometimes
you buy
we
all the
just
dishes.
cook our own rice and then we just get like maybe like, so it's basically like this is like $2 of this dish,
Yeah.
$1.50 of this dish, super cheap basically.
And in fact,
Yeah.
we kind of do that same thing with other foods also, like the chicken shop or the chicken people who sell chicken here. That's what we do. We make rice, buy the chicken, and then we have an Asian kind of deal. Even with KFC, it works really good with KFC. Try it, but more importantly, try the recommendation today on that insider.
So Inak is it's near the what's the name of the Estela de Luz. It's very close, so it's in the central area. You can go down and check it out.
Yes.
All right. So today for our guest,
What do we have?
we have our friend
Yes. Big
F-MACK.
shout out to F-MACK.
F-MACK is from Haiti, and he was also a contestant on La Boss.
Mhm.
And right now, he has. I've seen that he has released a lot of music and he's doing a lot of shows. So we are going to chat with him about what it's like being a foreign artist here in Mexico.
Yes.
The episode is about the trials and the triumphs. So, and I'm also very interested to find out about the Haitian diaspora because I was reading about it and it seems like there's like a lot of Haitians who are settling right now in Mexico. So I want to get a little bit of F-MACK's opinion about it. Yeah, and so let's see if he's already waiting backstage.
That seems quite true because even over here, like where we live, actually see more. I believe I don't know if they're Haitians, but I see the diaspora people kind of being on the increase right now. So yes, we're gonna get into it with F-MACK. The moment he joins us, I believe he is. I wonder if he's backstage. Not sure. All right. Yes, and so trials and triumphs. So we can get into it about, what he has experienced and how he's kind of also overcome some of the challenges, Obviously, coming from a place, obviously Spanish is not his main language, but he has overcome that, and in fact connected with a lot of musicians here, and he has turned his story into a success. So we want to talk to him about that. We want to chop it up with the F-MACK.
So yeah, maybe since he's not on yet, we could maybe put up his Instagram. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, we went blur again.
Did we?
Yeah, let's see if this helps.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but did you move the table?
I can't tell if you're blur right now. Are we good? I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
there you go.
we are looking at F-MACK's page.
Yes.
He is. We can see all the shows that he's been doing. I think he's been doing some events. Actually, I saw that he's going to Puebla to play real soon, and I think he does like jazz and funk.
Soul
Definitely
kind
very
of
funk.
colors.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he always remixes the stuff. Adds his own flavor. We've experienced his live shows. We have even had the pleasure to jam with him sometimes.
And I also want to ask about how he has put his influences of his culture into his music and also into his performances, if he does.
And also, I want to ask him also about this one performance where I saw him doing pretty special. It looked almost like a Haitian spiritual ceremony during the show, and that one was really interesting. And yeah, he's a regular in a lot of the jazz spots here in Mexico City. Your Cinco Jazz Club and your Casa Franca, this kind of spots. So for you guys who dig jazz music or dig that kind of scene, if you like music, good music, go check him out. And
so since he's not on yet, I will just talk about the Haitian diaspora. Right now, according to Wiki, there is over 70,000 Haitian born people living in Mexico. There is a reason for it. I was reading about how there was an earthquake in 2010, and then they started relocating here, and actually a lot of them were seeking asylum. So yeah, basically it's like they already had relatives here, and then the whole a lot of Haitians just started coming over, more and more of them. Yeah,
we're gonna get into it with him also. Yeah, and then also ask him. We never actually asked him when did he actually come to Mexico, or what made him decide to come to Mexico, right?
I think I did, and he told me, but I don't remember it. So yeah, we definitely should ask him.
and also find out about what he's working on right now, because I know he's always working on something new, and always trying to evolve. Also, like we've known him for some time, and we see his style evolve and the stuff that he does.
Yes,
You know,
and
right?
also he has told us like plans, and his plans are always about being really relatable to the audience here. So I think this mindset is interesting to delve into to see how he does his stuff.
Well, since he's not here, why don't we talk a bit about that topic also, the trials and triumphs of being an artist in a foreign country, because we are performing artists as well, and we are in a foreign country, and these are obstacles or these challenges, right? It's something that we've also experienced, you know.
Right.
Is he
So
backstage?
he hasn't said. He only said, "Hey, I'm waiting for you." But yeah, we could take a little break and come back when F-MACK is on. So, because usually between the two segments, we might take a break anyway. So let's see. Wait, he is writing something. So after he says it, then let's see if he's actually on or not yet. Oh my, I think we're a little blurry.
Arthur, are we good
Did you
with?
move the?
I think I moved it slightly. Okay, he says, are we in focus? Yes, right. Thank you. All right. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, I moved the.
Yes, and F-MACK is ready for us to come in. So
all right.
Let's just give him a few minutes.
Trials and triumphs.
Yes.
And we hope you guys can take some lessons from the exchanges that we have with all of our guests, your viewers. I mean, excuse me.
Right. So I'm going to give you a quick breakdown about what I told him that this conversation is going to flow, how this conversation is going to flow. So first we'll go into his background, the cultural adaptation of his heritage and how it's influenced his artistry, who he is, that kind of thing. And then we'll go into the challenges, which are the trials, and then the success stories, the triumphs, basically. And like we want to know all his reflections, and like what we do on that front show, it's all about personal growth. So that's what we're interested in.
Yeah, that's what we're interested in. And we hope you guys also can take some gems from the different stories of the various guests that we have on the show. You know, as you can tell, if you've been following the show, they come from different walks of life. You know, different things that they do, different areas, but there is a common theme that links all of them together, and it's this common theme of being in a foreign land and how they overcome these things and also connect with what it is that they do. All right. So yes, that is the story for the show today. And
we're still waiting for F-MACK. I think he will be in like any time now.
so what about you? How do you overcome some of these? What are some of these trials that you've experienced being an artist in a foreign country?
Well, not knowing anyone, then building contacts from here, like not speaking the language, definitely. Oh,
Hey, hello, welcome to
How
the
you
show.
doing?
Good. How are
How
you,
you guys
brother?
see me?
yeah, it's good. You look clear. Your hair is in place.
in
the plants is like good decoration.
I'm like
Are you
I don't
ready?
know.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank
It
you.
looks
How you
good.
guys
It looks
doing?
good.
We good, man. We good.
We are great. And you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. How's the light? Like, do you guys see me?
Yeah, I think you look fine, huh? Not too dark, not too bright.
Yes, you're looking fine. Like it can see you clearly and everything. Arthur will let us know.
Yes,
Our
Arthur will
production
let us
guy
know.
is Arthur, and he will let us know if you don't look right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. We've been telling the people on our viewers about you, and just roughly, we want to get into it with you, and maybe we can kick things off with that first point that you mentioned.
Okay, first let's definitely do some background.
Yeah.
Like composition. Okay, so like you're from Haiti.
Yes, I'm from Haiti. Yeah,
And
definitely.
and when you arrived in Mexico, did you speak Spanish?
No, I didn't speak Spanish at all.
But you spoke fluent French, obviously, right? If it was from your
Yeah,
country.
yeah. French
So
is
like,
our first language, but here in Mexico, that obviously, when I first arrived, like I had a friend actually. The first friend definitely like who been helping me out to get like houses here. Like his mother, he's from Canada. Like he speaks like a good French, but like a Canadian French.
okay, which is a little different from how you speak.
Like the Canadian French is definitely different from the French, the France French.
Okay,
Okay.
right. And you
Definitely.
spoke English. You already spoke English, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
that French background actually did help you to pick up Spanish quickly?
I don't think so.
No?
No,
Did it
not at
help?
all. No, I don't think so. No, not
Oh
at
no.
all.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was young, I thought so, but no.
It
It's
was
like,
too
yeah,
different.
it's so different. Yeah.
Mm.
Right. Okay, so
That's
basically you did have the language barrier when you came. That was one of the struggles.
Yes, he was. Because let's say when I came here to study. And
Okay.
I mean, it was the challenge was definitely I had teacher, I got classes in English and stuff, but I struggled having some classes in Spanish where I didn't have no one that could translate it to me. Because I had one friend, but he couldn't speak English, and he had to translate in Spanish, but in the Spanish that I could understand at that time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that these things are. I mean, it's not easy, right? I mean, because you're in a foreign country and then you're trying to navigate things. Well, how did you do it? Like, what? How did you overcome all this?
Man, to be honest with you, it's about like motivation. I want it. I said I'm gonna do whatever to make it happen,
Mm.
to get what I can get from the language. And right now I can say that I speak bastante Spanish,
Fluent.
you know,
Awesome.
and still struggling with some, because when it's not your native language and it's not the language that you speak the most. Let's say English is the language I speak the most here in Mexico, and I still struggling, but uh, I don't know. I had to watch a lot of movies, like
Mm,
Mexican movies, and
Mm.
read books in Spanish.
right.
Yeah, read books in Spanish and start to actually there's something that helped a lot. I started to follow on Instagram comedian, like Mexican comedian, and
Right. They said that is a very good thing to do, like to improve the
Oh
Spanish, right?
wow.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty
uh,
cool.
yeah, and it's like some that because the goal is to try to get the joke, and
Okay. Yeah.
at the same time they're telling you, you know what it's typically from the country, because sometimes they could make a joke. If you're from Argentina, for example, maybe you won't get it because it's something that
Right.
relates to Mexico. And at the same time I'm getting the language, the context, and the culture at the same time.
Yes, like for example, concha here in Mexico is like it's a bread, right? It's the bread, the
What
concha,
the concha? Yeah, my
Concha.
one of my favorite bread.
Yeah, but in
Right.
Argentina is a whole other meaning, yeah, so it's a very good point, and it's very interesting this thing that you're saying because technically you are studying people, right? You're
Yeah.
studying how so that you can connect with them as an artist, right? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to jump to, like for it. So right now, like I mean, this was history, but like in current times, like how do you feel being an artist in Mexico? Like it's Spanish, it's a Spanish environment. So like, and you actually connect with English, singing in English and all that. So like, how do you feel? Like, is this where you feel is in your element, or like you do want to expand in different like places?
I can say that right now I am in the perfect time being in, but I think it's about the timing for me in Mexico. Eh, because as an artist, being bigger foreign or like a foreigner in Mexico as an artist, he like until now he works for me. I don't know, because I'm still working, I'm still like doing stuff, and I'll see like for the future, as in the future. But for now, he works for me because let's
Mm.
back in the day they were, because if you guys, I don't know if you guys, have you guys seen the Selena movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have watched it. Yeah.
exactly. Once upon a time when they were trying to make it in Mexico, but I think her first show she tried it in English to sing in English, and the response wasn't that good because nobody could relate. But
Right.
now, since we have a Mexico where it's more opening to the world, it's getting a little bit more diverse, and
Yes.
English it's like more expand in the world. And in Mexico, people listen to a lot of like English songs, like English artists or American artists, British artists. That means
Word.
it
Right,
makes
right, yeah.
it better. Like it makes it a little bit like it's not the same. That makes it like better for me right now. And
Mm.
obviously, professionally, I can say that I'm lucky. I'm been always working with people who speak English because it makes it easier for you to work with someone. Because if I got some problem because somebody told me something in Spanish and I understood something else and I said yes, and they said, ah, you said yes, and I'm like, man, come on, how could I say yes?
Absolutely, I get this.
Right,
We get
right.
this. Yeah.
And that happened to
Yes.
me, and that's why I'm like, okay, it's not. I can say we're lucky. I've met people that I can make it happen in English, and right now, and I will see obviously in some part it's not good because I need
Hmm.
a Mexican who can introduce me to stuff that I don't know about the country, artists that I don't know about the country, the music business rules or the music business reality, the Mexican music business reality. Because you need a
Right.
Mexican that can tell you this gonna work, this not gonna work when they tell you this, you know. And that's why I'm like it's surrounded by a lot of Mexican, and that helps a lot. And it's like a game. Like sometimes you need to know how to use the language on your favor, and
Hmm.
sometimes when it's not on your favor.
Yeah, like you do need to at least be able to function with like a basic amount of Spanish so that you can be that level of relatable with your
Mm-hmm,
audience,
mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, like I have seen
Yeah,
your shows, and like you do your English so you're authentic to yourself, and then you do speak a bit of the Spanish to connect with the audience, which is
exactly,
really
Yeah.
good, really good.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Actually, this is something that I, because I was like, oh my god, I need to sing in Spanish and stuff, but that's that's the first thing, like, oh, you are in a Spanish speaking country. That means yes, and I started, and you can feel that he wasn't authentic, and
Mm.
this is where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just be myself. I'm just gonna mix my songs with Spanish, the Spanish that I can say, that like the most comfortable Spanish for me, and mix it with
Hmm.
English, like Spanglish. And when I tried it, that surprisingly, I wasn't expect the response, how Mexican respond to it, and actually,
Mhm.
like the response is really positive. Yeah, it's really really positive, the way they respond to it.
They appreciate the fact that you are actually doing that, right? Like mixing the two.
Yeah, yeah,
And
they
then on the other hand, you are also like balance. You're putting that flavor of speaking in English, singing in English, because that's really a
Mhm.
part of you, right?
Mm.
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Our
Mm.
guest last week, he was from Kenya, and then he was explaining the music, like the reason, like he's thinking that the reason why Afrobeats right now is able to cross to all the whole world is because they add English words into
Yes.
the
Yes. Exactly.
Nigerian
That's so true.
dialects.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. And I think, for example, I maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe last month, I had like an acoustic session where there were a lot of American people there,
Mhm.
and I had that song that I had a song called Agüevo. It's a song where I'm talking about yes, it's a song that I'm talking about mm, being like a foreigner
Oh.
living in Mexico, and how I understand Mexican and my experience in Mexico. That's what the
Mm.
song is about. And the song is in Spanglish because it's like funky, like let's say stranger will come to Mexico. First, you gotta
Right.
know como ser un chilango. And I say, way, you got a lot and a lot to learn. Te lo juro. Aquí son
Mm.
unos chingones. They'll make you feel like home. And in the chorus, and like no, there is the pre-chorus is like, a mí me gusta el chilaquiles, y me encanta el pozole, y me encanta el quesadilla. If you love Mexico, lift your voice and say a huevo. You know,
And
Right.
how's the response for that?
exact man. People there, they were like, man, the thing is, I understand. I just understand. Either the Spanish part you put, I don't know what you said, but I get the message what you were talking about.
Mm.
Yeah,
E-
like the feeling is clear, right? Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, because let's say someone a Mexican who doesn't speak English, and I say, stranger, welcome to Mexico. First, you gotta know como ser un chilango. And you're like, okay, como ser un chilango. Wait, you got a lot and a lot and a lot to learn, te lo juro. Aquí son unos chingones. Es como, okay, aquí son unos chingones. They make you feel like home. Maybe is it, a mí me gusta el chilaquiles, man. A mí me encanta el pozole. Pero it's like, it's kind of, they will say, que cagado, ¿no? They will say in Mexico.
yeah. And
That's,
also these words, these foreigners, like they te- probably heard it somewhere too. You know, like some food, and
Yeah.
like they get,
exactly.
you're talking about the Mexican vibe. Yeah.
Like for
Exactly.
example, for the people who are unaware, like for example, como ser un chilango, like the line that you said, is like how do you be a chilango, right? How do you, and what is chilango is how do you be a Mexico City native,
Exactly.
someone like that.
Exactly.
And it's very interesting, these things that you kind of zoom in on, because these things really touch the people, right? They feel something. It's like, and it's not just because it's not just the word of being local. It's something that they identify with, right? So I
Yeah.
guess you use these things to really kind of write your bars in a way, right? Your song bars, like almost using those words. That,
Right.
that's that's really fly.
I find it so interesting that you mentioned about the time, because this is really something that we have been studying here on that foreign show. We have invited a few DJs on that. It's like on this whole pop-up clubs coming through, and it's because it's feeding a need, because there are a lot of foreigners right now and they all want to dance to, like, hip hop, Afro beats, urban music basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
timing, right? Like now it's like this wave of this, like, I guess post COVID is like, the pop-up clubs
uh-huh.
happening, and Afro music on the rise, and
Yeah, yeah,
Mexicans
yeah.
wanting to party also.
And I think it's very, I mean, still at the end of the day, right, like what you give out, like you want to connect with the people here, so you add that Spanish, you add the love for Mexico, and what you give out you get back, and I feel like what you're talking about for timing is just beautiful, like
Yeah.
it's your time. Yeah, exactly.
So maybe you can tell us a bit about that part of your story. I mean, like when you said that when you first came here, you know what you wanted and you were going for it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then did that lead to you joining Lavos, and
Oh
and
yeah, let's talk about
and
levels.
and how did that happen in your life?
Lagos was a surprise because it wasn't unexpected because I went to Lavos because of Jilu, definitely. Big and it just happened, man. It's just obviously I wanted to make music, but it was like my music, my project and stuff. And Lavos was just a specific chapter in my life, and but it was something unexpected. It was really
Okay.
completely
Wasn't
unexpected.
planned.
Hmm.
Well,
And
first of all, shout out to Ilu, who
definitely,
was your partner, and also I want to ask you about the song, the However, is it from the jam sessions at her place? That's where the song came about,
It's ahuevo, but
I,
right?
ahuevo
That's
is a
the
bad word, right? Or
I,
aguevo. What? I don't know
Aguero,
the
Aguevo, it depends on no Aguevo. It's not a formal word, but it's a like a it's a normal word like people
yeah.
talk like it's like let's say and I'm like if someone is happy about something it's Aguevo. It's not come
Yeah,
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
and it's
Uh-huh.
about Aguevo. It's not something negative. It doesn't express anything negative because Aguevo is like when they're like singing
It's
está
like
como.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. Or like a confirmation about something, and yeah, it's for me, from my experience, most of the time they apply it. It applies for more like for happiness, like aguevo, like
Right.
yeah, yeah. It's sometimes, for example, instead of saying right, you can say
Uh-huh.
aguevo, you know,
Right.
an affirmation. Uh-huh.
It's like a yeah, right?
So
Yeah.
your song, the Huevo song, was it from the jams? That's what I was
Yeah.
asking. Or
What
is it
what
like it was you had the song before already? And
we
you
we we,
remember? I mean,
we
do you
yeah,
jam.
remember
I kind of okay
like
because when you say Ilu, right, and that's
Ah,
one of the songs that
ah,
comes to my mind.
I know she's always
yes. Oh
singing
no, no.
Huevo in the jams.
The thing is, let's say we were jamming usually with Gilo, and the first time I sing the word agüevo, we were in a jam at Gilo's house, and and
Okay, so the
and then I,
idea. Okay.
exactly, and we start, and Gilo liked it, and we start
Okay, so
like
the idea was from you. Okay, okay.
exactly because one day I was singing agüevo, and
Okay, yeah, I get it. I
the
remember
way
now.
he
Okay.
sounds was
Yeah,
cool, and they were like, "Oh, that's so cool," and we keep jamming on it.
yeah,
Agüevo, agüevo.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
That jam
what
lasted like
happened?
30 minutes, I think. That song. 30 minutes, right?
30
What?
minutes of Huevo, remember?
When we
Like just
jam,
going on.
yeah, it was going on and
Yes,
on. Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
funny.
that's so true. That's a true. No, the thing is, when I used to perform, I always, let's say, like interact with the public saying agüevo,
Right.
and
So you
this
already use that
and
in
this,
your like
yeah,
lingo with them, right? Yeah. So might as
exactly.
well make it into a song. Yeah.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
I see. Real cool.
Exactly. That's
And
how.
and I remember the like one of the times that we were discussing your music, like just conversationally, you were saying that you plan to do, I forgot the name of the genre, but you plan to do
Los corridos, no?
this
Corridos.
yeah, like
That genre of
yeah, you were showing us the genre of music that you were going to go into, and because you
Uh-huh.
feel like that's going to be very it would resonate with the Mexican audience. So like
Hmm.
how's that going? Have you started? And
How can I say that? Actually, the response were I ended. I'm not saying bad because he didn't he didn't went bad. He didn't go bad. But the thing is, I think the time I composed that song and I produced it, there is like a there is a there is like a specific time between where so many things happen in my career, and I kind of grown in a way where the people that follows me, my audience,
fans.
they kind of like expected specific things from me, and I don't think my fan, they are that audience like corridos tumbados and stuff.
Okay, okay,
Mm.
okay.
And
I know where you're going. Yeah, because you,
when I
you have
create,
to do it organically, right? So this
Mhm.
is what the organically the audience wants from you. Like I guess it's just
Exactly.
you. your
exactly.
style.
Okay.
People
You're funky, you're jazzy, you do
exactly.
covers. Your originals are
Ah,
also in this style, and they didn't want you in the other
Exactly.
style, right?
They were like, I think the response was like, okay, that's cool, but that wasn't the reason that I followed you. Because
okay,
Uh-huh.
the
okay.
F-MACK that I know, it's an F-MACK on stage with his band performing funky, gospel, R&B, soul, jazz,
Yeah.
whatever. And
Right.
maybe if I were like if I were like famous already, he would work because
That you
that's
can
what
try different things. Yeah, 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 yeah.
exactly. But since it's
Okay,
like a
okay.
new project that you are like kind of growing, producing and stuff, it's like the public is giving you, it's good, but not for me.
Mm.
Right. Like you need to build on what is working for you, right? And anyway, isn't
Exactly.
this right? And anyway, isn't this your like what you love anyway? This style? Like how did you feel about going in the corridos?
Corridos
Corridors
tumbados.
or
Right.
Zumbal,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So how
and
like was that something that you artistically like really loved or you actually wanted to just experiment with it?
that's a good question. Yeah, I'm also curious.
He was like curiosity because since it's music started to be famous at that moment, we didn't have peso pluma, but the corridos tumbados was still corridos tumbados. And I'm like, okay, let me experience it just to see what I can get from it as a foreigner, putting my R&B
Mm.
and stuff. And obviously, I think the whole team, eh, eh, the whole team that worked with me at that time, did a very great job, very great
Okay.
job. And I like for the production, I satisfied. I'm like
Mm.
yes,
Okay.
it was a
Okay.
lot of
Could you
work.
share with us the name of the album for this genre of music?
If
What
sorry,
is the
pardon.
name? Could you share with us the name of this album?
The
Like, is it
title. You mean the music? The
Yeah.
music. It says "Lo que pinches quieras."
Lo
Okay
que
Pinches?
pinches
Yeah, I've seen
quieras.
that. I've seen that. So that is a single or the or
It's a
an album.
single. It's a single.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, after
Okay.
that, I'm
And
dealing with this other stuff. Not chorus of my.
you're not gonna do more of that? No.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe in the future, but for now, I'm more
Okay.
into F-MACK. What F-MACK is, or maybe I don't know. I'll see.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, viewers of the forum show, if you're watching us right now, welcome to the show. Okay, and we are talking with F-Mac right here, and we are talking about music, and yeah, really interesting.
Yes,
Can
F-MACK
you?
is a singer,
Yes.
a vocalist from Haiti. He was also like semi-finalist of La Voz
Yes.
2020. Yes, and
And
a
we are.
fantastic performer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to. I'm curious also. Maybe you can tell the people about F-Mac. Where do you get this name from, or what? What
Oh
is?
yeah, he told me.
Because when I hear F-Mac, I think of the song "Return of the Mac." It's an old R&B song. And then it's like, okay, is that the Mac? What's the story of F-Mac?
Mm, man, to be honest with you, I was working with my brother, and there were another Mackinson on the computer because we were working on a project, and just to just to distinct, just
Or like
to
to distinguish yourself from
distinguish
the other
exactly
person.
from the
Uh
other
huh.
folder, like a folder, like on the computer, and he put like
Okay.
F-MAC like on the folder, and
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
we were like, that's cool, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's cool,
Right. 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 Right.
Yeah, I like it when
I
you
was
tell us
like,
like that now because it feels like it's very like internet age, like very,
Yeah.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
uh-huh. That's cool. And for
That's
some,
really interesting.
because it's Firminus Mackinson, because my name is Firminus Mackinson Fissler, no, but
Right.
obviously you can. It will be to
It's a
type.
Maybe
mouthful. Yeah.
All
that'll
of it.
All right, I'm gonna call you Ferguson from now.
that'll be a show in itself, man.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah. What does your mom call you?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your mom call you?
My
Ferguson, come here.
my mom definitely called me Mackinson.
Mackinson. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you we have a friend that we call Mackie back in Singapore. Like his name is also Mackinson, and we call him Mackie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm always like, I always feel like calling you Mackie. Yeah.
They call me Mac.
That's
No, and he they give me like a bunch of names: Mackinson, Mackie, Son Son, Mac, Ken Ken. Nah,
oh.
Ken.
Well,
yeah,
F-MACK is working for you
I like
right now.
F-MACK.
It's-
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
It's a very
Right.
good name.
When I first have it, I was like, man, he looks like no. My brother was like, he looks like a rapper name, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it my name. And now
Right.
when
So
you say
do you rap?
F-Mac,
We have never heard F-MACK rap, but
That
do you
is
rap?
Well, when I hear
uh-huh.
the songs, the lyrics of your songs, it's like those bars. Yeah, those are bars, man. I mean, like you know, like when you're talking about.
I could, but I would
Yeah.
definitely need a lyricist. So like someone help me with the lyrics. I have the flow, but I would definitely need someone that could help me with the lyrics.
Right. Yeah. Isaac's right here.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you something else about
Yeah.
a show that we. Actually, a couple of things. I mean, Loke Pinches, Kieras, that one.
Mhm.
Maybe we can talk about that also because when we spoke to you, you were very excited at that point when you were in development of this idea for the single, you know, and you had this idea of doing something controversial, right? Doing something visually, visually striking. And maybe you can tell us a bit about,
Is that the one with the music video of the nun
Yeah.
outfit?
right?
Uh-huh.
That's,
Okay,
that is the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, talk about that. Talk about that
Yeah,
music video.
You could either talk about that, or you can maybe tell us a bit about your process. Like when you're thinking of a song, is it the visuals that you get first?
Yeah.
How
That's cool.
how does that come about?
But sometimes it's visual. Sometimes it could be like a philosophy, like a message. Sometimes it could come from me being on stage, like the song can get from the stage. Sometimes it came from like a visual. For example, sometimes I have the video before the music, and I mean when I'm telling you the music before I compose the music, you
Right,
know.
right,
And
okay.
the Loke Pinches Kira, yeah, it's a message. The message is it's about everybody have a nun or has a nun inside of you, like
Mm.
Like the goody one, the goody part of you.
exactly. Because why I select a nun, because back in the day you guys know everything about the machism, feminism, or women not having any power, women doesn't have
Okay.
any voices. And
Mm.
because
Right.
the society was like women, like let's say woman and men.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Patriarchal. Yeah.
And now imagine right now a woman needed to be perfect in the society act, because you need to be like straight, doing everything very clean because you are a woman. But imagine
Mm.
right now being a woman and a nun, a religious woman. That means you have like two weight on your shoulder. You have
Mm.
religion and you have the society.
Right.
Right. Okay. So it's not just the goody goody. Is that whole being suppressed? That you have to suppress your full expression of like your womanhood and everything. Like when you're dressed from top to toe, like all colored and like without any shape. That's what
Uh-huh.
it's saying, right? Yeah, I see.
Oh, that's really cool that you're playing on that.
Yeah, that you are exploring that is an interesting thing. Like, what made you decide to like go into it, like for the song? Like, what is your
Yeah.
message?
The message is about like fighting yourself, because what you have inside, it's what the society have been giving you, that been telling you as the truth, as they
I
see
love
it,
that. Yeah.
you know. And now the nun is not a nun, it's everything that the suppress, like oppression, or they tell you this is white, black and white, this is the truth. And right now you can see the nun is working like all over the city. He's like discovering itself or herself, whatever it is, and
Mm.
exploring the world. It's like surprising it's like discovering what the world has. You know what I
Right.
mean? And at the end, the nun, step by step, it's like open up, getting a little bit crazy. At the end, like getting so crazy because being crazy means it's personal. Dancing, music, singing. This is what like happiness, man. You find your truth, not the truth,
Mm,
your truth. Because
no
if we say
truth.
the truth, now we're doing the same thing back in the day, or people saying, because I can say this is your truth, I need everybody to live that truth. No, it needs to be your
Right.
truth.
Beautiful,
Exactly.
beautiful. I really like that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
That's a
that's
very
that's
I
what it
absolutely,
is.
right, right. I absolutely agree with that because you're making a blanket statement and then you say that's the truth, and then
yeah.
like you're forcing people to be on that truth when the whole idea is that you live your own personal truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Wow.
And these issues,
Exactly.
yeah, here in Mexico, it is. I mean, females do go through that kind of suppression, right? Yeah, from on many levels.
Right.
That's
Like I think the conversation in Mexico about feminism and chauvinism
Mhm.
and all that is very strong. Like in
Yeah,
Singapore is like nearly zero
yeah, yeah. Over
about
here,
that. Like women and men are so equal. Like in Singapore, like
yeah,
I don't have
And
these like
uh-huh.
topics, Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
here is
uh-huh.
like you're hearing all these kind of things all the time, and then you have talk. The word toxic comes out all the
right,
time.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's
what is cool,
interesting. Yeah,
yeah, thank you. What is cool about it, because the thing is, I use a women symbol to send a message, because at the same time, women that are getting like like oppression, they got their voice too in that song. But at the same time, the the nun, it doesn't represent gender. The nun, it's a symbol of what the society knowledge, the what the society says that this is the knowledge, because it could be for a man, it could be for a woman. That's why you see, in as a nun, I wasn't a drag. I was a man dressing as a nun, not
yeah,
drag.
I get that. I get that. Like,
No?
and that's
Oh,
why for you to express this idea, it makes the most sense
Mhm.
because if you are a female and doing that, then we'll think that it's about feminine power, that kind of thing. But you are
I
actually making
see.
a more generalized, like the individual. It's not even about the genders.
That's
Yeah,
like a real statement. So it becomes like a almost like a performance art, right? Like you're
yeah.
trying to say
Exactly.
something. Yep.
Exactly. Maybe one day they will understand it.
Yeah, like I was thinking that. I'm thinking that this is such straight up art, and like at this point, you're still building. So like people are not totally seeing, for example, the genre of the music yet, and
Mhm.
also what are you doing with the art. But like as you get bigger and spread out to more people and all that, like they will revisit this
Yeah,
video and they will get it. Yeah.
That's a really cool thing about being an artist. In a sense, we kind of live in a different kind of time thing. It's like the stuff
Yeah.
that we do, although it has for us, it's in the past.
yeah.
I mean, for fans who are discovering us, it's like they can be revisiting that for the first time. And for the first time, it brings me to another point that I want to ask you also about a show that we saw you do. I mean, you're obviously you always post stuff on Instagram and everywhere and all the socials, and so we see this. Like maybe you can tell us about this one performance you did where it's like it looked like a spiritual ceremony. You know,
Yeah, I said that the last
that
time.
you did. You know, like
Was it like a Haitian thing? Yeah,
yeah,
let's get into that. Yeah.
you know which one I'm talking about, right? I think it was like Casa Franca, and you did a.
Did you in Casa Franca?
I might be wrong about
Oh,
the place. I might
oh,
be wrong about the place, but it was a show
how?
you did
Uh-huh.
Like tribal.
tribal, and you came out with like an altar and like a spiritual ceremony, like
I
yeah,
was dancing, right? I was dancing.
yeah, yeah, you were
Uh,
dancing. It was your
okay.
show, yeah. You were dancing and you were doing a thing, and I just want to ask you about it. Like, was that part of a song, or was it something that you put together in your set to say something to the people?
Okay, if we are really talking about the show that I'm thinking about right now, because there was a show where I was like dancing with like a lot, so energized on stage. If it's that show, it wasn't in a Noche Negra.
Okay.
Okay.
Noche
Yeah.
Negra,
Noche
Teatro
Negra.
Lucido. It was in
Okay.
Teatro Lucido. That show was a, it was like a unique show because they wanted me to perform, and I was asking, okay, what did they want it? Like, if they want my F-MACK as my full band or what? And the girl was like, I don't know, I just want you. And I'm like, okay. When I get to the place, I didn't know. I mean, I said, okay. Obviously, when I got, I don't think she were ready for my band for because of budget, yeah, for full band, and I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
let's see. When I get to Teatro Lucido, to the place, oh my God, I was in shock, positively in a way. I'm like, wow, wow, what a place! The place was magical, you know.
Okay.
And I said, okay, I think this place needs something else from F-MAC, not the F-MAC, not the usual F-MAC. And I said, okay, this place can make me connect to spirituality. When I'm thinking about spirituality as a Haitian, I go straight. I think specifically, it takes me straight to voodoo.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's what I
voodoo,
was gonna talk about. Voodoo. Yeah.
exactly. And voodoo as my culture, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do something very spiritual and special that relate about my country, my roots, that
Nice.
tonight. And this is how he came up.
Wow, it's really beautiful to
Yeah.
share that because it's the experience that like it's specifically Haiti, and we would like to know more about it. Everybody would like to know more about it. So it's great that you share it. And
Yes.
we have come to the end of our show.
Yes.
F-MACK, and thank you so much for joining us. We had a very good time. Definitely want to invite you again so we can talk more.
Guys, guys,
Yes.
Maybe
thank,
when
thank,
you are going to release another song or something. What do
thank
you
you
say,
so
sorry?
much. I know I was saying like thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, well,
And I really
we
love,
have
huh?
well, since it's the end, maybe we have like 2 minutes left. So maybe you have some last words you want to tell the people watching and also your fans who are watching.
Guys, but the first thing, like one thing I want to say, you guys are doing a very great job because that's really good for foreigner living here in Mexico to express the experiences here, because that makes us feeling that we're not alone and so many people are experiencing the same thing as we are experiencing, and that makes you, maybe we can get an answer about some struggle that we are, something that we're struggling at the time. Maybe somebody who've been through this can tell us something, you know what I mean? I think that's a very good thing.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much,
It means
and
a lot
we'll
coming from
see you
you.
soon. Like,
Thank you,
definitely, I
Isaac.
miss
Thank you,
you.
Celestine.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
I'm
Thank you,
Isaac
guys.
I'm
Celestine,
Celestine Angel. We have F-MACK. We are here on ADR Networks,
activating
activating
your
your
sense of
senses.
peace.
Thank you to all who joined us here on That Foreign Show. It's been awesome. I'm Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch, and we'll see you next Friday. Have a great weekend, y'all.